Jackson has become synonymous with the Storm. Since her arrival in the Emerald City, Lauren has led this team to new heights and a world championship. We decided to sit down with Lauren to learn a little bit more about her humble beginnings down under, her long journey to the U.S., and ultimately her arrival with the Seattle Storm.
Well, I think when I was 2 weeks old, I was on a bus going to watch my mum play basketball in some tournament. And I think from then on, I was always around basketball stadiums. Yeah, always had a basketball in my hand. And yeah, it's just been part of my life for so long. It's ridiculous, really.
Oh, Lauren Jackson, you are that good!
I never thought I'd be anything but a basketballer, and it's a really weird kind of story. But I guess when you grow up in that environment, you don't really think that you're. Well, I didn't think that I was ever going to do anything else. I did play tennis. I swam a lot, and I did little athletics and stuff like that. And ultimately, it was my choice what I chose to do, and I stuck with basketball.
How's your backhand?
My backhand, it's not as good as my forehand. And there were teams that I missed out on and stuff like that, and I think that was pretty much the main adversity in my career, was when I was younger having to deal with, and obviously missing out on teams when you're younger, it can break your heart because it's the end of the world when you're a kid. But you know, I just kept going. I just got back up on the horse and kept pushing along with it, and there was just something in me so deep that it was like no matter what I was going to do, I was going to be a basketballer. So unfortunately, it turned out that I'm playing professionally now. I had all the sorts of dreams that kids have. I was very normal in that sense, where I wanted to get married and have a couple of kids by the age of 22. Obviously that never happened, but I guess in terms of playing basketball, like I said, I knew I wanted to play. I just didn't know how my life was going to change. I had goals to be at the 2000 Olympics that were so vivid in my mind, and that was what I was aiming for probably 6 or 7 years. So every time I stepped out on the court, it was to play at the Olympics in Sydney. So when I achieved that, it's kind of like then I had to reevaluate everything, and then, you know, even then I wasn't even going to play in America. So, and then the next year I decided to come over.
With the first pick in the 2001 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Lauren Jackson from Australia.
It felt great. I remember not realising how big of a deal it was going to be. And, you know, to this day I think that I took that moment for granted because I was so young, and I really didn't know how the culture was over here with basketball and sport in general. And, you know, my mum and I flew over the night before, and we got into New York, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but it's like a 28-hour you know, transit time, and I just remember being so tired and so caught up in everything, and you know, I'd be crying with my mum, and she was like, "Come on, just grow up," you know, like. But she was really supportive, and yeah, I think I took that moment for granted a little bit. But you know, now looking back on it, I'm really fortunate that I did go #1 and that I came to Seattle.
Thanks, LJ. Now we'll have part 2 of our sit down with Lauren Jackson Friday night, so make sure to come back to check it out. Storm Vision will return right after this.